Welcome to the Everett Growth Platform. The diagram you see on your screen here is a conceptual representation of the complexity we've simplified over the last 30 years to run a high growth business on a single page by a single operator. Let's get into it. So, why growth? If it's not obvious, it is the center of mostly why businesses exist, and it's the thing that everybody wants and competes for. So, a simple story of how we implemented this got brought in to help run and grow a high growth startup. And you could see the team wasn't executing correctly, misaligned, demotivated, etc. And implemented the growth platform, got on an all employee call, showed them what we were going to do. They sort of had glazed eyes, didn't really trust it, did the thing, looked at it a few days later. They saw how what they had done is actively moved the metric, which drove the North Star metric like revenue, profit, and cash flow. And then the epiphany and light bulb went off, and we were off to the races. And then it became really fun and like a video game trying to move all the metrics into positive territory, and then growth just compounds. So, how do you know if it's for you? Couple quotes here from different personas. Have a look. If you're hearing these things, it's likely one symptom of a larger issue that we help solve through the growth platform. A little bit of a table of contents, what we're going to talk about today, a little bit more of an overview, some growth and details. First, a little bit about us. We've been doing this for a long, long time. Specific expertise in growth, product strategy, brand, experiential activations, all in service of moving that North Star metric from early stage startups, mid cap companies, all the way to the Fortune 500. And then here's a little bit of sort of the competitive playing field. And we're focused on growth. We don't track all data. We focus on key data that moves North Star metrics. And we price on a per business unit per month, not on a per user basis. So we're not going to nickel and dime you here. So yeah, we run over the top of these different tools. Take your pick. What we've found over the years is that each one of these solves an interesting use case, but it creates second order problems that you need to solve. The reason is because it creates a lot of data misalignment, stuff moved in different areas. You got to build a data lake and then build custom stuff over the top. Blech, it's a nightmare, takes too long. We get going on day one, and we help solve some of these issues that other ones create. So, a little bit about how we're different, how we're better. We focus, like I mentioned, on one thing, not all things. We're not owned by VC or PC or PE. We operate with you as our customer. We look at the ecosystem at large, grow that, and then give you a larger share of the ecosystem pie. And then we're not political, doesn't matter the culture. We're just focused on results, getting people to work together well, and move the metrics. And then lastly, we take confidentiality and intellectual property seriously, and we've never not delivered. So that's a bit about us. A little bit more on the pricing model. As I mentioned, very simple, per business unit per month, no user counts, no setup fees. And then we've got just some differences on how big you are, how many business units, how many metrics, how many features you want, data refresh rate, and that sort of determines the scale. And then, yeah, you can look at the objections. Obviously, there's always certain things that may be going on in your business where you're interested in this, but doesn't maybe not the right time, price, time, budget, data, etc. Have a look at it, see if any of those make sense to you. We can get into them over a call if you'd like. Let's get into something a little more interesting. So, what is this? So, this is a growth pyramid. This is our intellectual property. It's taken us a long time. That's that graphic I showed you. Essentially, this is your North Star metric, revenue, profits, cash flow, could be assets under management if you're financial services. Ultimately, that's got to drive some type of income statement results, though. And then here's all the drivers underneath it, the metrics that inform and drive that North Star metric. We map this out for you in a growth pyramid. We assign owners at each level, and then we get going and focus on it. Once you do that, it will start creating excess cash, which is great. You set up a system where your costs grow linearly, revenue grows exponentially, and you can dominate and win. And then, of course, the question is, what do you do with those excess cash flows? You have to reinvest those in other things that will continue that growth rate. So we can help with that as well. Here's a little bit more detail on that growth pyramid concept. This is an illustration to give you a sense of supply, demand. You can see some of the revenue related things, product related things. And then this is broken down by your leadership team, your management team, your execution team, and then your customers, CSAT, NPS, things like that. Here's what the actual platform looks like, current build, and you can see how that translates. Pretty cool. We've got other detailed metrics where you can drill down. And then advertising, that's one tactic for growth. We can track some of that and see things that are happening. On the details side, this is how we do customization. Essentially, we help run the process in the beginning with your team on support and some of the data that we just get access to and get it into our system. And then you can use it to then grow, or we can help you on execution. A little bit more on the flywheel features we have. This growth pyramid is one piece, and then the fact that we can iterate and dynamically adjust the metrics, the pyramid, to ensure that we're constantly working on the things that are most sensitive at driving growth in the North Star metric. Markets change, world change, customers change, everything changes. So we got to change as well. That's it. Have any questions? Give me a shout. Sean@everettadvisors.com. That's my direct. And love to chat and meet. Thanks.